Hawkinsville.
This is Mallory Hancock Lawrence, and we love our Caldwell and Lyon County friends. We invite you to come to Cada's anytime you can to shop with us. We're making it even easier for you. Whether you work in Cada's or just come to town for a visit, stop in and shop with us. But if you're in a hurry, you can pre-order your groceries at Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com. It's so easy and convenient. Of course, we want to see your smiling face anytime we can, but if you're in a hurry, Hancock'sNeighborhoodMarket.com is the way to go. Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Cada's.
1580, 103.3 WPKY. And, of course, Coffee Talk is on the air this morning. And I'll tell you, I got kind of excited the other day. I really did, because I'm all about showing our little girls, this is a positive thing for them. And this is what I and it's not just for little girls, it's for anybody. I see a lot of people, trying to do the get skinny quick thing. I would love for that to be true, but more than anything, I want someone to be healthy. But I also want them to be healthy and happy in the skin that they're in. And trying to find that healthy journey is something that is not easy, and it's a different journey for everybody. And I am so proud of this lady. I'll tell you, went to school with her, and I am just in awe of everything that she's accomplished. Miss Brandy Holloman, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
I'm really happy for you, woman. I mean, you're tearing it up.
Well, thanks.
Well, I checked on it this morning, and of course, we're going to explain it all in just a second. But, I checked on her this morning, and she's in second place in her category. I don't know if you were aware of that or not. I don't know if you checked it yet. But I had checked it this morning, and I'm like, that is phenomenal.
It's pretty exciting. It's a pretty big group, and they keep narrowing it down, and I've made every cut so far.
Well, now let's explain to everybody, what we're talking about. What kind of competition are you in?
It is a Miss Health and Fitness competition. It's for the magazine Muscle and Fitness Hers. So it caters to women and their health and fitness and, being body positive. And it's just a contest to be on the cover as well as win some money.
Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, that cover and the money sounds awfully good to me. But, just being able to make the cover, and make the pictures and being a part of that and being accepted into it. And then, oh my goodness, getting votes. And then now you're currently in second. I mean, what does all of that mean as far as how much work you put into it? Because this is not an overnight thing.
Definitely not. It takes years and years for me to get like the pictures that are posted, take at least 2 years of hard work to get the muscle packed on. And then it takes quite a bit of dieting to lean out and to look that way. But all in all, I mean, I've tried to lift weights always, but really for the last 6 years, I have worked and worked and worked to get my physique the way I want it to be, but also, just internally, it takes that work and that time to become who you want to be mentally as well. And, all that work, all that passion is why I decided to go for it.
Well, and when you talk about powerlifting, I mean, that is, and weightlifting, that is a commitment, woman.
Yes. I had always lifted weights and worked out and, been an athlete growing up and through college. And when I found powerlifting, it was just an awesome fit. It is be as strong as you can. And what that did for my body was motivating. You see the little bit of success with your muscles. You see your numbers going up, being able to lift heavier and heavier. It motivates you to push harder. And then on top of it, like I say, it's such a mental thing. It was like my therapy. It made me a better person. It made me healthy mentally. It made me love the skin I'm in a little bit more. And then on top of it, other women saw that and also started to see, hey, it's okay to do that. It takes a certain level to get really muscular. It takes a lot of things that most people aren't willing to do, but even just to have a little bit of that shape or, firm up certain areas, when I started lifting, other women would see the results, and they wanted to do that too, which was awesome.
Well, and it's so difficult. I mean, as women, I think we are so hard on not only ourselves, but each other. And if we were really honest with ourselves, a lot of times the men could care less about some things. We're doing it more for each other than we are for, maybe the men.
Yes.
But, we tell ourselves that's not what it is, but it's almost like a mental competition every time you leave the house. And this is something that I thought was so cool with you, is you say, I am confident, less anxious, sleep better, and can focus.
Yes. That mental aspect is so huge. And the other thing I've learned is a lot of women, when they enter a room or are with a group of girls, it's like they compete with each other. I don't have that anymore. I want to see women succeed. I want them to feel as good as I do. I want them to feel comfortable about who they are. I've taken a group of people before, just a little, session to kind of make that point. We all are hard on ourselves, and we need to be our own biggest cheerleaders as well as others. And what I did once with a small group of ladies, and some of them may be listening, is we got Post-it notes. And each person wrote on the Post-it notes what, they didn't like about their self, whether it was their nose or their legs or, their tummy or whatever it was. And then they had to stick the Post-it notes, like down their arm. And we went around and read some of those notes. And the people in the group were like, oh, my gosh, I would kill for your legs. Or, oh, my gosh, that, you look awesome. And it's so funny because that clued them into how negative we talk to ourselves. We feel like we've got to be a certain way or a certain person when we're around a bunch of other women. But it drove the point home that most people don't see us the way we see ourselves. And in fact, many want us to succeed and do well. And, there are those times when people lash out and things, but we've got to build each other up. We've got to be there for each other. And that's mainly why I did the competition. I wanted to, say, look, you can do this too. Be your best self, and let's help each other.
Well, and it's more than just physically strong. And this is the part that I love, is that it's mentally strong.
Yes, definitely.
Well, and I think that mentally strong goes a long way, because if you're mentally strong, a lot of the rest of it will fall into place.
Yes, absolutely. And, most women don't take time to themselves. They give and give and give, and they just get exhausted physically and mentally. And I feel if they even gave their self 10 to 15 minutes a day, longer if you can, it just goes such a long way. You have to, put money in the tank, so to speak. So, gas, you have to keep putting gas in it for it to go. And especially mothers constantly do not put that effort into themselves because they're always giving, but they've got to do it so that they can go and be the best person that they can be, whether it's for their friends, their family, or their children.
Well, I'm going to be honest, as a mom, a lot of times, I will say, oh, well, I need to do this, or I need to go do this because mom needs to do this. But there is that part of you that feels so guilty when you walk, because, there's one more thing that you could be doing with the children, or there's something they want to do, and instead you give up your time and go do it with them, and, you've got to prioritize yourself. And sometimes that can bring so much guilt.
Yes, it definitely can. And what I try to recommend to people when it comes to that is just get the kids involved with it. Pick an activity or something that you can enjoy together if it really just weighs on your heart and you have such a horrible guilt trip. And then the other thing is, you deserve a little bit of time too. And it will help you be a better mom. You'll be more focused. You'll have a calm mind. You won't be as stressed out. You might not snap at your kids quite as much, but you've got to do it. You're worth it. And when your children see you, a little more relaxed and able to laugh a little bit more, it's going to benefit them still. So that, there's small things that you have to do, and it's just so worth it. You're just going to be such a better mom.
Well, and really, now don't get me wrong, during certain circumstances, a certain world, a year ago or during normal circumstances, whatever normal is anymore, it would be hard enough. But during COVID, when a lot of people just can't even get out of the house, and when they do, now a lot of our, maybe your kid is doing school at home through NTI now, or, everything is so upside down that it's so hard to schedule things. Is there a way that we can do some of this at home?
Absolutely. There are so many people out there that post videos, some people locally. I've done videos for people. I just usually email it instead of posting it like on YouTube. But there's so many great resources. Even on Pinterest, you can find workouts. But you can find things that you can do with your children. Yoga is a wonderful thing to teach the kids because some of them get really anxious about their schoolwork, or they might be anxious about what's going on in the world today. There are plenty of videos that you can follow. We have a local lady, Jeanette Parent, that does a lot of videos of yoga. And you don't have to, know a whole lot or be flexible. You can just start with the basics. There's all kinds of other programs where you can lift weights or just do exercises or make it into a game so you can incorporate those activities with your children as part of their school day. And the main thing is, if it seems a little bit out there or difficult, they can always ask somebody like me, hey, is this a good idea? Or ask their doctor. There's plenty of resources to double check that it's a safe, good thing to do. Or it may just inspire ideas. And you don't have to have weights at home. That's the cool thing. You can use body weight. You can use canned goods. A 16-ounce can of beans can be used as weights. A book can be used as weights. There's a lot of things that you can improvise with. Stairs can be used for activities. So, you can be a little more creative, just like you are with having to keep your kids home with their schooling, and you can apply that to workouts as well.
Well, I'll tell you, that's part of it right there. When my son started, because don't get me wrong, I used to love to lift weights when I was younger, and I got out of it when I had the kids because I made a lot of excuses because I'm like, but I'm so tired. But now my son is playing football and he's like, oh, well, I got to go see Jesse out at Trilogy. I've got to do this. I've got to lift some weights. Well, how do you know when enough is enough and enough is too much? Where do you know when you're left to your own devices at home? How do you know when enough is enough and enough is too much?
What I always tell people is to start slow, because anytime you do something new, you're going to have some soreness. You're going to hurt. And if you have horrible soreness where you have trouble sitting or standing, then you definitely overdid it. So I recommend baby steps. And it doesn't mean that down the road, even if you've been doing stuff for 6 months, you might do something out of the ordinary and be crazy sore again. But baby step. If you haven't, been walking, or you haven't done, squats, or even just basic where you sit in a chair and stand up, if you haven't done, like an exercise where you've done it 10 or 20 times, then, start with 10 or start with 5 minutes of activity or start with whatever. See how you feel the next day. If you're not sore at all, then, maybe go up a little bit more the next time. Always baby step it. And even me, I always tell people, you've got to take your ego out of it and be like, oh, I used to do this, years ago. Yep, you're not going to be able to do that right now. And it's really hard, especially like me, because I will push myself as far as I can. But I have to train smart now, is what I call it. With age, I came training smart. I only do the things that I need to do. When I want to push a little, I push a little, not a lot. And when I need to back off, I back off. And it's okay because we feel differently every day. And the main thing is you want to be able to do more things the next day and not have some kind of injury that prevents you from doing something long term or for life.
I'll tell you, I'm in awe of you. I really am, because I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I think we graduated within a year or two of each other. And that's one of the, I wish to goodness I would have stuck with something like that, because I'm telling you, you talk about finding muscles. If I don't bowl for a few weeks, I go back and bowl. I have found this muscle that, I'm telling
Yes.
you. And all I've done is bowl. It's so easy to overdo it, and not
It
think
is.
about it.
Yes, as a kid and even in your 20s, it really isn't much of an issue unless you do something extreme. But once you're over the age of 30 and 35, you definitely have to baby step and not, like I said, let your ego get the best of you.
What?
Just do, the minimum. And it's okay because you'll be able to do something the next day. You don't want to be like, I can't get out of bed. I hurt so bad.
My ego has nothing to do with this, Brandy. I just don't want to admit that I'm getting older, I mean, my kids, I think they remind me of it a lot when they're out playing football and all. They do have a way of reminding you, look, I'm getting old and I can't do that anymore. But, again, when I've got somebody to look at like you that I'm like, okay, well, maybe I can't. Maybe I'm not going to do that degree, but maybe I can. Maybe I can do a little more all the time. So if you look back at yourself, back at Caldwell when you were, let's even say a freshman in high school, what would you tell her?
My best advice would be don't beat yourself up so much. Don't be so hard on yourself. Embrace who you are, be comfortable with who you are, and just be your cheerleader. That's the main thing. Talk nicely to yourself. If you wouldn't say it to someone else, don't say it to yourself, kind of a thing.
Oh, you need to make a T-shirt with that on there. That's fantastic. It's the little things that we don't think about saying to ourselves.
Yes.
I think that's awesome. Well, now tell us how to help you now, because that's something we want to do. We love supporting our folks from Caldwell, and you're one of them. And I would love to see you just continue to go on with this. Of course, it's Miss Health and Fitness, and I know that. I looked it up. And it says she's currently second in her group. So how about we get that, above that? I'm just saying. But you've only got a couple of days left. I think it's the 13th is when.
I think it's the next cut is the 13th.
Right,
and
the top
at the
10.
End of the month is when they are going to have the group winner. So going, into the end of the month is one of the most important stretches because they're only moving forward with the group winners. And it's divided by age groups, which is nice, But if you do win your group, after the end of the month, they are actually going to take all the votes back to zero. And all the group winners are going head-to-head for the month of September for the cover and the money.
Oh,
and
wow.
so everybody will be back on an even course then. And so if I make it that far, I'll be back at zero and then be like, vote again. And you can vote daily. You have to have Facebook to vote. It doesn't cost anything to vote. And I have that on my Facebook page. It is public. So even if someone isn't a friend, they can view that post.
Well, I'll tell you, I actually tried to cheat today and do it twice just to see what it would do because I'm mischievous that way. I really, Brandy, I haven't changed at all. That's what I'm telling you. We're still back in high school. I haven't changed at all.
Yes.
But no, I did. I went ahead and tried just to see what it would do. And it's like, no, you can't. You've already done it once today. So I thought that was pretty cool, that it really does log it. I did try it in a couple of different ways. And I thought that was pretty cool. So you can go on there every single day and help Miss Brandy out. And again, that top 10 is going to end on Thursday. Now, that's this coming Thursday, the 13th at 11 p.m.
Yes.
And it takes
and then,
3 minutes. It's nothing.
Yes. And after that, it's for the group winner at the end of the month. So,
well, and I think it's cool, too, because not only are they doing it that way, but you can also do a warrior vote. And now what that is you can actually purchase votes that benefit and where the money goes to the Homes for Wounded Warriors Foundation.
Yes, it does. And it's awesome because at times they'll offer 2 votes for the price of 1. And all that money raised through the voting that's paid, it goes directly to Wounded Warriors, which is an awesome foundation.
I cannot wait to see at the end of this how much they end up getting for Wounded Warriors.
I hope it's a chunk. I'm a former military spouse, and then I know, a lot of people in our hometown has family that's military, and so that's definitely a great cause.
Oh, I can't wait. I'm so excited for you. I think you're really going to kick its hind end. I really do.
Thank you.
We're already proud of you. No matter what, you're a winner to us. And we're awfully proud of you, Brandy. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Go get them, girl. Of course, if you want to go vote for Miss Brandy, make sure that you do that. Miss Health and Fitness. We'll have I'll share a link on our website and on our social media page so that you can do that it very easily and just click on there. And again, it doesn't cost anything. You can do it once a day to vote. And it's pretty cool to look on there and see somebody from Coldwell and to see her looking sharp as well. And that was hard. That's years in the making right there. So we're awfully proud of Miss Brandy Holloman, and we appreciate her joining us today because she's actually out and about and working, and it wasn't easy for her to stop down and do that today. So we do appreciate it. Of course, stick around. Again, I don't want to forget to remind everybody about the big deals today. In that sale that's going on, because the sale is just ridiculous. I mean, I'm sorry. I was continuing to look up some of these numbers, and again, you're talking about over at Purcell, $13 is what it works out to, about $13 an oil change, and with tire rotation. I mean, it's just insane prices. So what you do is you go on our big deals page, and we have this big special right now, which I don't think you could beat. I don't know how in the world you would ever beat it. But this is how you get to it. You go straight to our website, and right there on the front of it, it says Back to School Your Way. Then you get an extra 20% off your order when you use promo code LEARN, and that's LEARN. And you got to put that in there at the checkout. And then no matter what the discount, and I mean, some of these are already right at 50%. They're already like whacked right in half, really, half price. But then you go back in and get a 20% off of what they're already marked down to. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It is really a lot. I thought it was a mistake on a couple of them. I'm not, it's that low on some of them that I really and truly thought they were mistakes. So go and check it out. It's worth kind of going through there. You can even do it by city. Maybe you've got a kid going off to college. Maybe you travel for work. You know, if you've got one, I know that Mitchell just went back to Murray. Here just a few days ago. Well, you know what? If they would like to purchase something for, maybe gift certificates for him to go out to eat while he's at school, well, this is how you do it. And you save a ton of money. And in a lot of cases, it's half off the value of the gift certificate to begin with, then an extra 20%. Well, now they're really saving a whole lot of money. And that's something you can do as well. We can all do it. We can get in on it. Anything from health and pets to retail. There was dry cleaning on there, things to eat. You can fix your vehicle. You can fix your house. I mean, just a little bit of everything on there in all of the different cities around. So it really makes it convenient. And again, that's on our big deals page. And you find that right there at the front on our website at WPKYonline.com. So stick around. If you missed anything with Coffee Talk this morning with Miss Brandy Holloman, very easy. We're going to have that on our website on the front where you can click on that. It should be by this afternoon. The interview should be able to be downloaded right there on our website. So make sure that you check that out and make sure you support her and go and vote. You can do it once a day, and top 10 is going to be decided within the next couple of days. So let's support her. We can do that at least a couple of times this week, right? It's from 1580 103.3 WPKY.
I'm Governor Andy Beshear. What if you had COVID-19 and didn't know it? Would you act differently if you did know?